So now that we have some basic profiling done, and our initial optimization of the player controller to save us about 1.5 to 2 milliseconds on the game thread, we want to go through and expand on that more. So basically my goal is to try to achieve a similar result with the 60 pawns, but at a much just overall lower frame time. So we can use the significance manager to help us achieve this. So first things first, let's go to plugins and search for significance. And okay, I guess it actually is on by default in at least 5.5. So we're pretty much ready to use it. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to go ahead and close all of this down. And honestly, this doesn't even need to run every frame, but I'm not worried about it. Let's close everything down and let's go to our main game module. So in our player folder, we want to add a new class, and this one's going to be a Viewport client. So game Viewport client, and let's just call this one our SKG player Viewport client, or not player. Let's do SKG game Viewport client. And first thing, let's go ahead and override the tick function like so. And we want to bring in the significance manager. So skg zombies.build.cs. Let's go to below, we'll go below the model view model and bring in the significance manager. So I'm going to go ahead and let Unreal do its thing. So I actually have a working IntelliSense. Okay, now that it's done its thing, let's go ahead and include the significance manager.h. Now in tick, what we want to do is get the significance manager, which was off of, actually we need to store it. So let's go ahead and fetch it. So make a protected section, and we'll call this one U, well, it'll return a U significance manager, but we're going to call it get significance manager. Now we're going to have a U property. It's going to be a T object pointer of U significance manager, and just call it significance manager. Now inside of get significance manager, if it is invalid, we want to get it, and otherwise we simply want to return it. So let's set significance manager to equal U significance manager get, and in our case it is going to take in a world, so get world. And now we have our significance manager. And on tick, we basically just want to call update. And as you can see, it takes in a T-array view, which is basically our, well, viewpoint. So we need to construct this here. So what we need to get access to is going to be our player controller. So that way we can, get our kind of like our eyes point of view. And we are also going to want to, well, to get that from here, we actually need our local player, but let's just start piece by piece. So if get significance manager is valid, then we can run the other logic. And we also need to get our player controller. So let's do basically the same thing here. So we'll do another U property of T object pointer of U player controller, or sorry, a player controller. And we'll just call it player controller. Then a player controller, get player controller. So if the player controller is invalid, we want to return the given player controller. However, we don't have a good way to access it. There is the local player, but we don't have access to said local player. However, that function that actually came up of setup initial local player, if we go to it, you can kind of see here, it does return a local player. So basically we can call the super to simply, well, store the local player. So I'm not 100% sure where this gets called from. I'm kind of curious really quick. So that's in the editor and in runtime. So the game engine, when it sets up okay, so at some point it basically just sets up the viewport client. So we want to override this setup initial local player. So setup initial local player. And in our case, we want to store the result, not return it. So U local player, well, actually, we're going to make a variable for it. I forgot about that. So what we do is we can just make, again, another U property, T object pointer of U local player, local player. So local player equals the return of the super call. Then we simply return local player, and that takes care of it. So now from the local player, we can actually get our player controller. So if the player controller is invalid and our local player is valid, we want to go ahead and get the player controller. So local player, get player controller, get world from it. So player controller equals local player, get player controller. Okay, so I did see direct access to this, so I'm kind of curious. So basically, if the world we pass in is invalid, we just directly return the player controller we have. Otherwise, we do a bunch of iteration, which I do not want to do. Granted, this would be very minimal. I still don't want to do it. So instead, I'm just going to directly access the player controller like so. So this will return us our player controller. And now we have pretty much everything we need. So if let's do get player controller is valid and the significance manager is valid, what we can do is fetch the player controller, and we want the actor eyes viewpoint. So that's going to output a location and rotation. So I'm just going to make two variables called location and rotation. And F vector, location, F rotator, rotation. And that'll take care of that. So now we basically want to convert that location and rotation at some point into this T array view. So we want a T array of F transform, and we want to go ahead and let's call it, I'll just do transforms, and we'll pass in a F transform of, let's see, it takes in I think a rotation, then location first. So yeah, rotator and location. Oh, right, because we need to, yeah. Whoa. I wonder, can I just use a initializer list? Yep. Okay, so that sets us up for our T array of F transforms. Now we can do our T array view of F transform and pass in the transforms. So better yet, we can probably just construct a new, like so. Oops. I can copy what I'm trying to actually copy, like that. And that becomes kind of redundant. So we now have our update function, and we are passing in our, well, viewpoint. So now what we can do is go through and actually utilize this in our various actors. So in our case, we're going to be utilizing it in the zombie pawn. But first, I want to go ahead and compile just to make sure that everything is actually building correctly and we are good to go. Okay, so it did not quite like that. So I'm going to Control Z, construct the normal transform array, and just pass in the transforms as is. So now let's go ahead and build one more time. And we seem to be good to go. Okay, I'm just going to leave the header open, and let's go to our zombies module, and same thing. Here we want to access, or not access, add as a dependency, the significance manager. So let that do its thing, but I'm going to also open up the zombie pawn. So we have that open. Going to let it do its processing crap. Okay, Now that that's done, we want to go ahead and make a new function that is basically going to register this zombie pawn with the significance manager. So we'll make a new protected section, or not section, but function here, void register with significance manager. And from begin play, we want to go ahead and call it. So register with significance manager. Now I cannot for the life of me remember exactly what to do in this case. So I do have this logic here that kind of walks through the various parameters and everything, because there are two functions that we need to make. And when we go to register with the significance manager, we're basically just passing those functions in. So we need to first off make two functions. So the first one is going to be basically calculating the significance, or the significance function rather, and then the post significance function. And I'll explain how those work once we actually get into being able to print examples. So first thing, we need the significance function. So let's copy these parameters here, and it's pretty straightforward. So we're going to do I think it's just a void. Let's do significance function. And it takes in the F managed object info and a F transform for the viewpoint. So let's go ahead and include the significance manager. Then we have another function, which is the post significance. So void post significance, which takes in the same kind of stuff. So the object info, the old significance, the new significance, and whether or not it was final. So now we want to utilize these to basically register our significance. So I'm actually going, screw it, I'll just type it out. So auto significance, significant, yeah, that just looks spelled wrong for some reason. So we want to go ahead and pass in ourselves. So U significance manager. Actually, I should already have most of these copied. So instead of the remainder here, we're going to do a const F transform by reference viewpoint. Yeah, that's okay. Actually, these return a float. My bad. So let's go back to the header, and instead of void, this returns a float. And the second one is a void. Okay. So in here, we want to return significance function, passing in object info and viewpoint. So the actual value of this is going to be this kind of mess, and I don't feel like, well, meh. Next one is post significance. So auto post significance. So same kind of thing. Pass in the parameters that we passed in for the header file right here. And we return post significance function. How do I spell that right? Significance function. And just pass in what we need. So I'm going to rename that to post significance function. And then we just pass in basically everything else. So object info, old significance, new significance, and be final. And that's mostly it to where we just have to register. So we need access to the significance manager. So we can do U significance manager get, pass in the world, and from here we call register object. Now the object is going to be this, our zombie pawn. Then we're going to have a tag, which we'll just do zombie pawn. And then we have the significance function, so significance. Then we have the post significance type, so post significance type. We'll do sequential. And then the post significance function, so post significance. So now we can remove all of this, and let's go ahead and compile just to make sure we actually do build. But we need to make our definitions for these two functions first. Right, so here we're just going to return 0 for now. So let's go ahead and build and see where we're at. Okay, so everything built just fine. We just have 2 warnings. So the U project does not list the significance plugin as a dependency for SKG zombies and our zombies module. So let's go to the U project, SKG zombies, and additional dependencies. We're going to add the significance manager. And let's actually just copy this whole thing and go down to the zombies module and add it down and only include the significance manager. So now let's go ahead and recompile. Okay, and we have the same warning, and I realized I'm an idiot. I'm adding these as a dependency to the modules. However, these are, well, plugins. So let's go down to our plugins folder here, and we'll just copy the one of gameplay abilities and rename it to significance manager. So now we should be able to build without warnings. And there we go. So we built just fine. Now the only thing we want to do is pretty much run some prints. So UE log temp, warning, text. Let's do a significance function and print out the post significance function as well. So we can go ahead, build and launch, and just kind of make sure that stuff actually happens. Okay, once we're in the editor, we do need to change our viewpoint client, and I believe that is in project settings. Let's search for Viewport, game Viewport client class to be our SKG game Viewport client. So it wants us to restart. So let's go ahead and do that. Then once we're back in the editor, we'll just play as one client. And here we have our post significance running for basically all of them. So post significance and significance function. Remember, we do have 60. So it's doing them kind of in chunks. So what I mean by that, let me actually clear the log to kind of better show. So starting from the top, when we first hit play, we start doing the significance function, which calculates the significance. Then after we've gone through all 60, we fire our post significance. So basically, what do we want to have happen after we have calculated our significance? So reduce tick rate, render a static, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the workflow as how this will go. So that is going to be all for this video. I just wanted to get the significance manager set up, and we are now in a position where if we need to, add it to anything else, such as say a firearm or our players, we can very easily do so. So I will see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can get early access to this entire series.